Jesus says, your selfless attitude will defeat the enemy's most common weapon. January 23rd, 2020. Words from Jesus to Sister Clare, spoken by Jackie. Clare began. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us together, a beautiful, harmonious group. Surely I've never experienced anything as sweet as people that love you. Thank you so much, Lord. And truly this is the sweetest part of community. But as we all know, it isn't always this way. We all get tired and sometimes impatient or short with one another. And Satan is always standing by with his lying demons to make us contentious or resentful and turn us against one another. What happens when someone says or even feels badly in the company of his or her brothers and sisters? First of all, the enemy is trying to divide us, so we will lose the precious gift of fellowship with one another. Second of all, he wants us to judge others and take in a bitter seed in our hearts about them. Mind you, this is when we are all of one accord, but along comes the enemy and exploits the weakness of one or another. My precious ones, we have to be smarter than Satan and more self-controlled, filled with brotherly love, even looking ahead at what could happen to disrupt things and planning for it in advance. We now know that these things are deliberately planned by the enemy. They are not just coincidences. Lord, have you something to share with us? Jesus began, my precious community, you have many who oppose you. But you also have my charity and brotherly love to protect you. Stay under the covering of brotherly love, and you will not be disturbed. What the enemy meant for bad will instead be an occasion of instruction and good for others. You are here not just to fellowship and have a good time. You are here to be prepared for your own missions. And as you watch Mother Clare make both good and bad decisions, you are learning what you may expect to happen later on in your missions. There is no weapon against brotherly love. The enemy is at a loss when each of you love your brother and sister more than you love yourselves. When you are looking out for the good of the community, you will spot areas of weakness that the enemy may be waiting to exploit. If your mind is on yourself, your comforts, your choices, your privileges, you may miss the weak spot and become a victim to it. But your selfless attitude will defeat the most common of the enemy's weapons, selfishness and self-serving, symptoms of pride. When your heart is set on what is right and not just your particular agenda, there is very little that can be leveraged against you to cause strife. Because all of you will be quick to yield and do what is best for the other, in even the worst situations. Those of you who are called to be here during the tribulation, this is training for you. I know the enemy's next move, but your obedience to my known will cause you to sidestep many a trap. When you fall into pride and self-serving, then you are bound to fall. This is why obedience and detachment are so very important. In my Father's last message, He spoke to you about doing what is right for no reward at all, or even in spite of the sacrifices you will have to make. He also told you that you will not always know why He does things the way He does, or even what fruit can be gleaned from your sacrifices. When your heart is satisfied totally by knowing you have done His will, you cannot be led off track. Live to do my will, dear ones. Make that your full-time preoccupation, and you will have peace so deep the enemy will not be able to take you over and ruin what I have for you. Find your joy in this, dearly beloved brides, and you will scale the highest mountains with little effort. I love you. I am with you in this endeavor. Be strong. Control that urge to get upset or to judge. Put it away from you. Renounce it and embrace brotherly love by showering others with your understanding and patience.